Hey, Nerd Society. The Punisher is one of Marvel's most relentless antiheroes, taking on crime with brutal efficiency. But even he has faced enemies who pushed him to his limits. Today, we're diving into the deadliest foes the Punisher has ever faced. Before we start, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our superhero content. Now, let's get into it. Jigsaw. Billy Russo, a ruthless mafia assassin, became the Punisher's archenemy after Frank Castle brutally disfigured his face. This traumatic event led him to adopt the identity of Jigsaw, with his scarred appearance symbolizing his deep hatred for Castle. Consumed by vengeance, he is willing to go to any lengths to make the Punisher suffer. Driven by his obsessive need for revenge, Jigsaw constantly schemes to torment Castle and disrupt his war on crime. With a twisted mind and sharp strategic skills, he remains one of the Punisher's most relentless foes. His unyielding desire to destroy Castle ensures that their brutal conflict will never truly end. Kingpin. Wilson Fisk, the ruthless crime lord of New York, sees the Punisher as a major threat to his criminal empire. With his immense wealth, power, and influence, Fisk controls the city's underworld, but Frank Castle constantly disrupts his operations. Their battles have been brutal, with the Punisher relentlessly targeting Fisk's empire in his war on crime. Despite his sheer strength and strategic brilliance, Kingpin struggles to eliminate Castle, who refuses to back down. Their clashes are fueled by mutual hatred, with Fisk determined to maintain control and the Punisher committed to tearing his empire apart. This ongoing war makes Kingpin one of Castle's most formidable and persistent enemies. Barracuda, one of the Punisher's most brutal foes. Barracuda is a sadistic and ruthless mercenary who thrives in chaos. His sheer resilience allows him to survive near-impossible situations, making him a persistent threat. With his brutal strength and cunning mind, he enjoys pushing Castle to his limits, relishing every chance to cause him pain. Unlike many of the Punisher's enemies, Barracuda takes a twisted pleasure in the violence, often turning their battles into a cruel game. His brutality, combined with his dark sense of humor, makes him one of Castle's most terrifying adversaries. No matter how many times he's defeated, Barracuda always finds a way to come back for more. Bullseye is one of the deadliest assassins in Marvel, known for his ability to hit any target with deadly accuracy. Though mostly associated with Daredevil, he's also crossed paths with the Punisher multiple times. His psychotic nature and mastery with weapons make him a formidable enemy to Frank Castle. Bullseye's unpredictability and ruthless tactics make every encounter with the Punisher a fight for survival. Their rivalry is marked by constant violence, with Bullseye relentlessly trying to kill Castle using anything as a weapon. This deadly game makes him one of Castle's most dangerous opponents. Ma Gnucci is the ruthless leader of one of New York's most powerful mafia families. A cold and calculating criminal mastermind, she controls her empire with an iron fist. Her encounter with the Punisher, however, ended in one of the most grotesque deaths in the history of Castle's violent crusade. Despite suffering horrific injuries and losing multiple body parts, Gnucci's desire for revenge remained unyielding. Even after being disfigured and left in a state of near death, Ma Gnucci refused to give up on destroying the Punisher. Her relentless pursuit of Castle makes her one of his most determined and terrifying foes. Gnucci's brutal, unflinching nature and her willingness to sacrifice everything in her quest for power solidify her as one of the most memorable villains in the Punisher's world. The Mennonite is a reformed assassin who once left his violent past behind, seeking peace and redemption. However, his past catches up with him when he is forced to return to a life of crime in order to eliminate the Punisher. Driven by a sense of duty and faith, he refuses to use modern weapons, adhering to his religious beliefs. Yet his formidable strength and combat skills make him a deadly adversary. Though he avoids firearms and high-tech weapons, the Mennonite's raw physical power and expert fighting techniques make him a fierce and unpredictable opponent for Frank Castle. His internal conflict adds depth to his character, making him not just a threat, but a man torn between his faith and his violent nature. This complex character brings a unique challenge to the Punisher, blending morality with deadly force. Daken, the son of Wolverine, became one of the Punisher's most brutal foes during the Dark Reign storyline. With his razor-sharp claws and ruthless nature, Daken literally cut Frank Castle to pieces in their first encounter, leaving him near death. Though Frank was later resurrected as Frankencastle, their rivalry remained fierce and filled with intense violence. Daken's savage abilities and deep-rooted anger made him a perfect match for Castle, pushing both to their limits. Unlike other enemies, Daken's healing factor and relentless nature made him a nearly unstoppable force. Their brutal clashes, marked by personal hatred and brutal violence, made their rivalry one of the most intense and memorable in the Punisher story. Nicky Cavella is a sadistic mobster from the Punisher Max series, known for his extreme cruelty and twisted tactics. He is one of the most ruthless villains in the Punisher's world, willing to cross any line to torment Frank Castle. In one of his most horrific acts, Cavella exhumed the bodies of Castle's family just to provoke him, igniting an unrelenting vendetta that would make him a prime target of the Punisher. His shocking actions put him directly in Castle's sights, and Cavella's sadistic behavior only fuels the Punisher's wrath. The mobster's complete lack of empathy and enjoyment of violence make him a truly terrifying opponent. His actions create one of the most personal and brutal conflicts for Frank, solidifying him as a key villain in Castle's war on crime. Bobby Saint is a high-ranking criminal from the 2004 Punisher film, whose death at the hands of Frank Castle ignites a brutal war between the Punisher and the Mafia. As the son of Howard Saint, a powerful crime lord, Bobby's murder becomes a pivotal moment in Castle's quest for vengeance. His death leads to a violent retaliation from his father, setting off a deadly conflict that escalates quickly. Despite his limited screen time, Bobby's role is crucial in shaping the Punisher's vendetta against the Saint crime family. His death marks the beginning of Castle's war on the Mafia, with Frank showing no mercy to those who threaten his mission. Bobby's murder serves as a catalyst for the larger, more personal battles Castle faces throughout the film. Daredevil. Although Matt Murdock, also known as Daredevil, is not a villain, his rivalry with the Punisher is one of the most intense in Marvel Comics. The two heroes clash not only in physical combat, but also in their opposing philosophies. While Daredevil believes in upholding justice through the law, the Punisher takes matters into his own hands, acting as judge, jury, and executioner. Their encounters are legendary, filled with both brutal battles and deep philosophical debates. The Punisher's willingness to kill contrasts sharply with Daredevil's commitment to justice and redemption, making their confrontations both personal and ideological. These fierce clashes, shaped by their differing views on justice, have made them iconic rivals in the Marvel Universe. Thanks for watching Nerd Society. I hope you enjoyed diving into these fierce Punisher enemies. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Your support helps the channel grow, and I appreciate it. Catch you in the next one.